Good morning students, Jacob here. So I hope you are washing your hands regularly. If not, then here's a video on how to wash your hands.
Wet your hands with water. Apply soap, rub your hands palm to palm and wash the backs of both hands and in between your fingers. Then palm to palm with fingers interlocked. Clasp your hands together and rub. And then clean around the thumbs too. Rub your fingertips in the palms of your hands and finish off with the wrists. Rinse your hands really well with water and dry them thoroughly with a paper towel. Use the towel to turn off the tap. Your hands are now clean.
So wash your hands regularly and keep yourself and your family safe from coronavirus. So students, today we are going to start with the new chapter, which is The Making of a Scientist from your Footprints Without Feet book. So this chapter is about Richard A. Bright, who was the only son and did not have any friends to play. So he actually developed an interest of collecting butterflies and other things like coins, stones. His mother encouraged him in this interest. So she used to take him for trips, she used to buy books for him. So the book which she bought for him was Travels of Monarch 10, which was actually related to butterflies who migrated to Central America. So he developed interest in butterflies, and then in the beginning of his career, his experiments related to butterflies were unnoticed. But still he did not give up and kept on trying. And very soon he was successful and he won the first prize, and also he discovered a hormone which was responsible for growth in butterflies. So this chapter is about Richard A. Bright, a scientist who was interested in butterflies. So let's read and understand about this chapter. Chapter number 6, The Making of a Scientist, page number 32. At the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. Richard H. A. Bright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time this important scientific journal had ever published the work of college students. So, Richard A. Bright and his college roommate actually explained a theory in their article, which was published in scientific journal, published the work of young boys, the college going students. In sports, that would be like making the big leagues at the age of 15 and hitting a home run your first time at bat. For Richard A. Bright, it was the first in a long string of achievements in science and other fields. And it all started with butterflies. So what happened? Achieving something great, and that too in a very young age, was something like playing with the big leagues and scoring a home run, like it's mentioned at the bottom as well. Home run is actually in the game of baseball, when you actually hit a home run and you actually cover all the 4 bases. It was like a success achieved by Richard A. Bright at a very young age. And it all started with butterflies. An only child, A. Bright grew up north of Reading, Pennsylvania. There wasn't much I could do there, he said. I certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of 1, but there was one thing I could do: collect things. So as I told you in the beginning, A. Bright did not have any friends to play football or baseball. So what he ended up in? Collecting things. So he did, and did he ever, beginning in kindergarten. A. Bright collected butterflies with the same determination that has marked all his activities. He also collected rocks, fossils and coins. He became an eager astronomer too, sometimes stargazing all night. So he had no friends, nobody to play with, so he started collecting butterflies, collecting things like rocks, coins, fossils, and at the end of the day, at night, he used to gaze, means stare at the stars. From the first, he had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. He also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipment, and helped him in many other ways. I was his only companion until he started school, his mother said. So, as he did not have any friends, so he started collecting things, and his mother encouraged him in doing so. She used to take him for trips. She, bought cameras, microscopes, telescopes from him so that he can pursue his interest towards all these things. After that, I would bring home friends for him, but at night we just did things together. Richie was my whole life after his father died when Richie was in 3rd grade. So, short form of Richard is Richie. So, his mother is telling that they both have been together and she never left Richie alone after his father died when he was very young, when he was in 3rd grade. She and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. If he did not have things to do, I found work for him. Not physical work but learning things, his mother said. He liked it, he wanted to learn. So, Richard was a keen learner and his mother never used to leave him alone. She used to give something or the other work to him, and that too which was related to learning. And learn he did. He earned top grades in school. On everyday things he was just like every other kid, his mother said. But the time he was in 2nd grade, Abright had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. So as we just read that he actually collected butterflies. So by the time he was in 2nd grade, he has already collected 25 species of butterflies. The names are written in the table which is there in your book. That probably would have been the end of my butterfly collecting, he said. But then my mother got me a children's book called The Travels of Monarch 10. That book, which told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So Richards thought that probably collecting 25 species of butterfly would be an end of his butterfly collection. But his mother bought a new book for him named Travels of Monarch 10, which was actually related to butterflies who migrated to Central America. So he became more interested towards knowing that what are these butterflies who migrate to Central America. So he was an eager learner, means a keen learner. At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migrations. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Abright's mother wrote to Dr. Urquhart, and soon Abright was attaching light adhesive tags to the wings of monarchs. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. So what happened? At the end of the book, which Richard's mother bought for him, it was written that to help study butterfly migrations, you people are invited. So Richard also started doing the same. He actually attached an adhesive tag on the wings of monarchs, butterflies, and whosoever found the butterfly used to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. So you can see the graph of the 6 weeks of butterfly collection which is there in your book. If you are going to chase them one by one, you won't catch very many. So the next step for Abright was to raise a flock of butterflies. He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs and raise them in his basement through their life cycle. from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly wings and let them go. For several years, his basement was home to thousands of monarchs in different stages of development. So he says that if you are going to catch the butterflies one by one, it would actually take a lot of time, or you won't be able to catch many butterflies. So what did he do? He actually caught a female monarch, a female butterfly, and then he used to take the eggs of the butterfly and then raise them in his basement. So for several years, the basement of his home was home to thousands of butterflies. Eventually, I began to lose interest in tagging butterflies. It's tedious and there's not much feedback, Ebright said. In all the time I did it, he loved only 2 butterflies I had tagged were recaptured, and they were not more than 75 miles from where I lived. So what happened? Eventually, Mr. Richard lost interest in tagging the butterflies and then sending them to Dr. Urquhart. So he thought that there was no feedback, and all these years or all these months only 2 butterflies were captured and there was no feedback from Dr. Urquhart. So he lost all his interest. So we'll find out in the next video that what happened, what did he plan to do when he lost interest in tagging the butterflies. So students, if you have any questions or doubts, we will discuss it during our online class. So thank you and have a nice day ahead.